Hey guys, it's Wallace. We're here today with a video about the boost and if the boost is worth it. So the boost in Heroes of the Storm is an optional item that you can purchase. It's also something you can win. You can win a 7 day or a 1 day or a 3 day in chests, and so you get kind of a taste of it. But for the most part, what we're talking about today is the 360-day boost. You can see here it's worth 900 gems. Gems are, of course, the currency of Heroes of the Storm. Um, you can, of course, buy that many gems. That wouldn't be too easy. So, in order to be able to get up to that amount, you need to buy 11,500 gems. And you can see here in the United States, that's about $100 plus tax. So, you're talking about a pretty penny. And so, as the question is, is the boost worth it? And we'll talk about some of the pros and whatnot of purchasing it and who might want it versus who might not. Now, I will start off by saying you should almost never purchase this at full price. The 9,000 gem price is way too high for what you're getting, in my opinion. I think you really, if you're going to consider this, should be considering it when they put it on sale. It was last on sale, and this is January 2019. It was last on sale in November for around Black Friday and Thanksgiving time, and it was 33% off. So that bumped it down to just around 6,000 gems. And that to me was a more fair price because most people, you'll have some gems and you earn gems throughout your time playing. And you can see even now I have over 500 gems that I've gained back. You can buy the 5,500 one. So you're talking about a $50 purchase in general if you can make up the extra 500 gems with what you have on your own. So all in all, that would be the only time that I would consider doing it. In terms of the full price, it's really not worth it unless you really have the money to spend or you're going to be playing this game full time, which I don't think is most people's situation. So let's talk about what you get with the boost. So the boost increases the amount of experience that you earn per match by 100%, and the gold earned per match by 150%. The boost also grants 5% additional experience to other players in your games. If you have an active boost, purchasing or receiving an additional boost will extend your current boost duration. So what this means is that you're going to get double the gold, or excuse me, double the experience plus 150% of the gold that you normally would get. And so that adds up to quite a bit of experience and gold per game. When you think about the experience, you're typically earning, about 100,000 in a normal, say a normal win. Now the range of the experience that you have is really wide in these games, right? So anybody that's played Heroes of the Storm for any time knows if you get stomped in 10 minutes, you could earn maybe 50,000 experience. If you have a game that goes on for say 30 minutes and you win, you end up with about 300,000 in experience, or 200,000, 300,000 experience. So it really ranges depending on the amount of experience that's earned in the game and if you win or not. Essentially, your points or your experience are doubled when you win the game. So that's really how the experience in the game works. And that experience is then used to level up your characters. And so when you go in and you see your characters, you can see where they're at. It's easier to actually see through the roster here, and you can see I have Zul. He's level 18. He requires just about a million XP to the next level. And so, in a typical non-boosted game, to get to level 18, that would probably take you around, I'd say, 9 to 10 games, right? Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how long those games go and what your win rate is within those games. But if you're playing with the boost, you're talking about probably only about 5 games to get up to that, and that's really a huge difference if you're looking to level up. Now the boosts are cumulative, which means you get all the other XP bonuses that are available here. So you can see you get a 25% bonus if you're playing with a friend. If you're in a if you're playing with a friend and you're in a party, you automatically get 50% because you get the 25% for having 2 players and one of those players being your friend. And if you're playing in a group of 5, you're talking about a 75% bonus if one of those people is your friend. If you don't know this, you should always friend somebody that's in that group. If you join a looking for group, then you want to always friend somebody so that you get the extra bonus. If you're playing Hero or Team League, you're getting an additional bonus on top of that. You see here, I already have the active boost bonus at 100%, and then it can go up to, we're talking about 200, 225%, depending on which of these combinations. If you're playing a 5-man with a friend in Team League, you're talking about a huge bonus. Now, you get a certain amount of bonus anyway, because even if you don't have a boost, you're getting about half of that. But the plus 100% from your boost is really going to increase your ability to level. So what does leveling get you? If you've played the game for any length of time, you get a chest each time that you level up. You get gold at certain levels, and you get gems as you continue to level up. So you can see progression here. I'm at level 629. Every 5 levels, you get a rare chest. Every 25 levels, you get an epic chest. And you get 150 gems every 21 player levels. So what ends up happening over time is that you're really able to roll in the gems and help pay for your next boost. So your boost will help pay for your next boost as long as you don't spend those gems. If you really want to spend the gems on something that you really are hoping to buy, you can do that. But there's not a lot, in my opinion, that's worth spending money on in terms of outfits or costumes or skins and whatnot. So let's talk a little bit more about the gold and whatnot. So you will end up with quite a bit of gold throughout your time here. Now, for me, I'm a player who's been in the game for a long time. I have every single character unlocked. A new character, when they drop, is 15,000 gold. An older character, they range in price, but most of the characters fall at 10,000 gold, and some of the easier to unlock characters are down as low as 2,000 gold. So if you're a new player, the boost has a huge advantage. But you have to be sure that you're willing to play this game for a year. If you're not going to play the game for a year, the boost really isn't going to be worth it. You're going to need to probably play, I would say, at least 2 or 3 games a day in order to really make this boost worth it. Now, when you end up with this much gold, you can essentially buy whatever you want from the store that's available with gold. But there just isn't a lot that you can buy with gold right now. So obviously the heroes you can buy with gold. They're talking about adding in, and this was from a lot of the fallout from their announcement about the changes to the game. They're talking about adding in more and more of these skins being purchasable by gold. But you can see here, like this Morales, you can pay 330 gems, which is a lot of gems, or you can pay 400 shards. We'll talk about shards in a minute. Yeah, thanks. And so you can see here, there's not a lot you can purchase in terms of that. There's always sort of this one crazy mount. It's the Wonder William right now that you can buy with gold. The banners are all shards. The announcers, there are some announcers you could buy. The Cloaken announcers, yeah. And Blackheart is another that you can purchase. There's a couple of them. They're essentially the ones that are already announcers in the game for specific maps that they'll let you purchase with gold. And so I bought the Cloak and Announcer. He was only 3,000 gold. I think he was a good purchase. He's not great. He's not as good as I was hoping for, but he's another character that you can use your gold for. The voice lines, they're all shards. The emojis are all shards. The portraits are all shards. And so, again, there's not a lot to do with your gold here. I'm sitting on 20,000 plus gold, and I don't think that that's going to go much lower. There's supposed to be a new hero release this month. I'll probably purchase that, but I'll end up having probably around 30,000 plus gold when I purchase that. So for most players who have boosted for a while and use the boost, you're talking about having just a surplus of gold. And so hopefully, as they start releasing skins or the ability to buy skins, we'll see how much gold they are. If each of these is going to be 15,000 gold, I don't think I'm going to spend my gold on that, to be honest. I'm probably just going to wait for new heroes to drop. So the gold piece is okay. Now the shards, you do end up with a lot of shards. And what ends up happening is, you're going to get a lot of chests. And as the chests open up, especially right now, right? So there's the toys game going on right now, the special event. You're unlocking chests left and right as a boost player. I'm probably unlocking 3 or 4 chests a day as I'm playing the game because I'm unlocking. You basically need 3 stickers once you complete the game, or you need to make a lap around the board. It's really not hard to do. If you come down as the MVP of a game, you're pretty much getting a sticker each game. If you're somebody who is willing to just sit here and play, each of these, like play the support heroes or whatnot, not hard to do. So you're going to end up with a lot of shards because the more and more of these event-based chests you get, there's fewer and fewer items that you don't have, especially at that common level. I have almost all the common stuff now for this, and I've only been playing, since the toy thing came out with the boost, and so you end up with more and more shards, which lets you purchase some other stuff. Again, I went in, I purchased just recently the Athena announcer, and that was gold. And then I purchased the adjunct announcer, which was 16,000 gems or 16,000 shards. And so you're able to really take that, and I always keep a balance of around 3,000 shards. But when you're rolling it in, I was well over 4,000. I was at almost, I think, 4,600. I just said, well, I'll just buy this. I've been interested in picking this up at some point. The biggest complaint that we've seen about the game recently, and I'll talk about this probably more in another video, is that there isn't another easy way to get shards, right? So you can, I guess, purchase chests, but I don't see anybody really doing that. And so this is really the most effective way to get more and more shards. Now, it's really interesting. I think that the boost is a big problem for Heroes of the Storm in terms of the economics of the game. It's something that I don't know how much they thought through this when they did it. I think about this game versus Hearthstone because they're two games that I both play. They're Blizzard properties. Now, Hearthstone, I'm not a free-to-play player, but I only really buy the one pre-purchase expansion pack. It's 3 times a year. It's $50. You get 50 packs. Usually, you get some sort of bonuses with it: skins, card backs. Sometimes you get golden cards or things like that. They've tried out different things each expansion. But I'm spending about $150 a year on Hearthstone. And for me, that's worth it because I play Hearthstone almost every single day, just like I play Heroes of the Storm every single day. But this $50 that I put towards Heroes of the Storm is the only $50 I'm putting towards the game for the entire year. And I think this is a problem for Blizzard. It's good for the gamers, right? I'm only spending $50, great for me. But I think this is connected to the problem that they're having in terms of drawing in revenue to the game. And this is why they're not keeping a lot of staff on board for it. This game isn't making a lot of money because there isn't a lot of stuff to spend money on. If you don't want to go and buy loot chests, or toy chests in this case, which I don't, look at one chest is 100. You talked about, okay, so, you get 50 chests for essentially the same as a boost. I get 50 chests with a boost in, I don't know, 2 weeks. It's just not worth it unless you're somebody who's got like a ton of money and it is blowing it on this game, which I don't think very many people are, to be honest. I don't think that's really the clientele of Heroes of the Storm. And it's a pretty casual game. As somebody who came from Dota, and I know people have come to this game from League of Legends and some of the other MOBAs, this is a very casual, laid-back game in general. And so I don't really understand what they're doing in terms of the economics, but that's my little aside. So in terms of the boost, I would say it is worth it, especially if you're a new player. If you're somebody who, when you go into your roster, if you have a lot of characters down in the lower levels, you can very, very quickly get these up to level 5 and whatnot. You can get a lot of expansion in terms of gold, in terms of shards. You can really start boosting your overall level, which really doesn't matter to anyone because I've seen players, I didn't have a boost for a long time. There are players twice my level that have only played for a year or so, even though I've been playing since, the beta or even the alpha, I think it was. So in terms of that, I wouldn't worry too much about player levels, but if that matters to you, it's again a quick way to boost up your level. So all in all, I would say purchase 360-day boost if you can get it at the 33% discount. Do not buy it at the full price. An additional 33% is really kind of negates any of the extra gold, the extra shards you're getting. But if it goes on sale, and it probably will again at some point, I would look to purchase it then. The other thing I forgot to mention, and I'll just add this before I end the video, is that you can also get boosts from the chest. So I have 11 months remaining now. It's January. I purchased it in November. I probably have added on about 2 weeks worth of 1, 3, and 7-day boosts that I've opened in chests, and those just keep adding on. So in all likelihood, I won't need to purchase again until later next year, probably December. But I probably will just purchase it and add on, because if you say you already have a 360-day boost, you can go in and purchase it on sale. It just adds 360 days to the end of whenever your boost ends. So I'll probably look to do that again next year if the same sale comes out. Well, that's it. If you have any thoughts, comments, experiences with the boost, if you want to throw any math at us, feel free to do so in the comments, like, subscribe. And I look forward to chatting more about Heroes of the Storm in the future. Great, thanks.